Anyway, I'm really delighted to open the discussion of today. And we all know that the stability in the region for 6 years, the last 6 years, I mean, has nothing to do with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, although we are going to discuss today parts of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Those who refer to the Gaza Strip, those who refer to the West Bank. I know that you are going to be tomorrow at the Palestinian Authority area and the day after in Jordan. But thank God, after so many years, that everything that happened in the whole region, from the Atlantic in the west to Pakistan in the east, and from Turkey in the north to Yemen and Sudan in the south, everything was connected with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which I'm sure that over the last 6 years, we all understand that what happened in Libya has nothing to do with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. What happened in Egypt twice, Hosni Mubarak, and later on when Abdel Fattah Sisi came into power, has nothing to do with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. What happened, the bloodshed in Syria, has nothing to do with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Iraq, nothing with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Yemen, of course, what's going on between the Houthis and the Saudis and the others, has nothing to do with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. What happened in Egypt today, in Sinai, has nothing to do with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, although ISIS is fighting there against the Egyptian security troops. Has nothing to do with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It has a lot to do with Hamas, Palestinian terror organization, and ISIS as a joint venture against the Egyptians. So we are sharing the same enemy, but I want to make sure that we all understand the saying that we all are very well trained to say: the enemy of my enemy is my friend, works in English, works, I believe, in French, works in Hebrew, doesn't work in Arabic. In Arabic they say, أنا وأخوي على ابن عمي وأنا وابن عمي الغريب, which means me and my brother against our cousin, and me and my cousin against the strangers. So we have to remember, I mean the European countries and the State of Israel and the whole Western world, that we are defined by those enemies among themselves. We are always defined strangers.
Has to do with a lot of reasons, but part of it is the situation in the whole Middle East. In the whole Middle East, if I see this development that about a peace in Syria, the Turks, the Iranians, and the Russians meet. No American anymore on the table, not to say Europeans. And if that would work, it would show that we have a change of a total global environment. There will be also other situations that we have to see. If it's true that the Japanese Prime Minister went to New York to see the future American president and did not get a security guarantee, as they were used to have it, the Japanese. And I talked the other day to the Indonesian foreign minister. There will be a change of relationship in the whole Southeast Asia. And if this TPP does not work, then these countries will group not around the United States, they will group around Beijing. And I will not, so we have later the chance to talk about Europe and our relationship to Russia and what it means for the further development in our region. Then we have to see that all what we were used to have in a sometimes changing way, but more or less in the same environment, that this is a dramatic change we have. I think we had also, this development, and we discuss it later here, about terrorism. We have to understand that it's not anymore terrorism which we're used to, which were concentrated on a certain country, IRA in the United Kingdom, in Spain, the national groups from the Basques, We had the RAF in Germany. We have now terrorism, which is a global one. The same origin for terrorist acts in Ankara, in Tunis, in Egypt, in Paris, and in Berlin. It has partly the same origin, where we can see that nobody can escape that, and that we can win that because the other side has a global strategy, we have a global anti-terror strategy. But I think we are not used to that. The discussions we have in Europe about that is still that some member countries believe they can solve it nationally, what is a joke. That is not doable nationally anymore. And you are in the middle of this region where we have this dangerous development. If I see the uncertainty on the Sinai, see the situation in Syria, see the proxy war we have in the whole region, if I see the development problems of Africa and what might come out of that, then I think this is not the old world we had before and where we used to have it with some small changes, but not in a principal way. And therefore, I think that this meeting takes part in a, I think, important moment where we can discuss such issues. We will probably not agree in every detail, but that is not the purpose for it, to do it. But I think we are very much interested in such a debate, to listen also to you, because we believe that with your experience in this part of the world, you can give us also some insights which might be helpful for our own judgment when we go home for our further discussion. So therefore, thank you again that you give us the possibility to discuss the matters here. And I hope that Israeli members of parliament can sleep faster than members of European Parliament can do that, so that some of them might have the strength to join us later, and so that we have